The current migration of trans Americans is one of the largest in U.S. history. Genocide is here for trans Americans. I'm going to read some of this article from Aaron in the Morning, and then we can talk about it. It's titled, "Over 400,000 transgender people have moved states since Trump's election." According to a new poll from the Movement Advancement Project and NORC, an estimated 400,000 transgender people have already fled their home states for safer ones since the 2024 election, relocating specifically in response to anti-trans laws and policies, making it among the largest relocations in modern history in the United States. When asked whether they had moved, this is part of a survey, when asked whether they had moved to a different state, 9% of trans respondents said they had. That figure translates into a striking level of displacement. According to Gallup, transgender people make up roughly about 1% of the U.S. population, about 4.5 million people nationwide. So if 9% of that population has moved states, it amounts to approximately 401,000 transgender people relocating in the wake of the election. An extraordinary migration driven by political conditions rather than personal reference. In total, there were about 1.5 million people relocating across state lines since the election. So this is people fleeing to escape for their own safety. Transgender people report experiencing startling levels of discrimination in the aftermath of the 2024 election. More than half, 56%, said they have faced discrimination because of their gender identity, while 47% reported being harassed in person. In many cases, that hostility is coming directly from the state itself. 24% of transgender respondents said they were discriminated against or mistreated by their local or state government. Faced with conditions like these, which can make even day-to-day life a struggle, relocation becomes less a choice than a means of survival. This is not the first survey to document this kind of movement. In 2023, Data for Progress examined trans migration in the aftermath of harsh anti-trans legislation passed at the state level and found similarly large numbers of trans people reporting that they had moved to a different state as a result. So, for the people who were able to relocate, I am happy that you have found a new home and that you are in a more safe place, a place that will be more accepting, more welcoming, but most importantly, a place where people recognize truth and reality. But not everyone is that lucky. Moving can be very expensive across states, and we know our income levels are extremely low compared to the cost of everything. So the trans people that have to remain in red states for whatever reason are in extreme danger every single day. They face harassment, bullying, online and in person, threats from far-right cult members, violent physical or sexual assault, and sometimes murder. Trans women are one of the most targeted groups in the country for violent murder rates, and it's getting worse. Trans children, out of fear, are developing UTIs from not going to the bathroom. It's also been reported that trans people are not eating or drinking during the day to avoid bathrooms completely. Banning children from gender-affirming care that's proven to be life-saving. Banning them from bathrooms and sports. Being dead named because your school refuses to recognize the reality on gender. And on top of all these things, They're being bullied far more than any other group of children in school. This treatment of trans people is what leads to suicide and mental health problems. I have also heard trans people in red states tell me that they have to stay in the closet for their own safety. Some of these children are not safe around their own parents. One thing far-right parents do is forced conversion therapy. This is a very dangerous practice that most of the time is not done by any sort of licensed psychiatrist or therapist. It actually makes suicide rates go even higher for LGBT people because it doesn't work. So another thing is parents on the far right are throwing their LGBT children out onto the street, abandoning their children. People on the left would never do something like this. 55% of our homeless youth is LGBT. We see through the lies of Republican Party and caring for children. It was just an illusion. It always has been. And recently, genocide experts have been shouting that we are in the early stages of genocide against trans Americans. If you want more information on that, I made a video on it yesterday. Go watch it. It's very important. So if you're a trans American and you're looking to relocate, I'm going to list off some sources that you can look into. So emergency funds, look up Human Rights Campaign, HRC, and the Trans Lifeline. For housing and shelter, look up A Place for Marsha or Project Open Arms. If you're looking for legal aid, look up Immigration Equality, Lavender Rights Project. If you need a community support network, look up Trans Lifeline, Pink Haven Coalition, or InReach. So those community networks offer financial, logistical, and safety assistance for moving from unsafe areas. So please like this video, leave a comment, share this as much as possible. This is not for me. This is to get this information out to people that are in a life or death situation. Thank you guys for listening. I'll be back soon. Bye.